Well, greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen. And since we didn't take to the air except for our special bonus program, which some of you did not hear, I played the CQ rather on Tuesday, on Wednesday. That means, again, that old Morse code which says, we'd like to talk with you. We'd like it if you'd pay attention. We'd like to pay attention to you. And that's actually what it means. It is a call for communication. Not for texting or typing or informing, but CQ is a call for communication. I would like to communicate with you. I'd like to speak to you. I'd like to listen to you. I'd like to see if we could enjoy a conversation together. Maybe we could even achieve something in our conversation. So CQ, CQ, CQ. Today, I would like to talk about a couple things. In fact, more than a couple things, but it's Wednesday. But the big thing will be is a word for the word. A word for the word. And we're going to talk a little bit about Rihanna. That's right. And a little bit about what I've just learned something about called the Rare Disease Month. The Rare Disease Month. And I think it'll be to you. And we always want to make sure that we do something that will be helpful to you. Interesting ideas for interesting people by meeting interesting people, and most importantly, by being interested in others. The program begins right now. And here we go, about 15 minutes here on a Wednesday, kind of the hump day, thump day. It's your hump day, but let's thump it. Let's make sure we're going to finish the week well. First of all, catching on with one of my things about the Super Bowl and my comments. Some of you talked about them, and I appreciate that. And there was a good deal of controversy, but it was actually quite mild, about the halftime show. Now, the halftime show has become, as someone said, sometimes it's flash and trash rather than class. And that's true of a lot of things today. It's flash and trash with little class. Well, the Super Bowl commercials were rather interesting, unique. Again, I found many of them were in high productivity. Had incredible production quality. But again, I'm not sure any of them really, moved me or touched me or made me want to do anything that was worthwhile. And that's too bad. That could be something that could happen. Also, I pointed out that I asked the question. And now, of course, you know the answer, perhaps. Who was the highest paid player on the Super Bowl pitch on the playing field? Well, of course, it was none of the players who are, of course, multimillionaires. It was Rihanna, who was a billionaire. Yeah. And, she's worked very, very hard and had a difficult life. And some people said, and this was kind of neat, I guess, that she was trying to indicate that she's going to take a different look at life. Now that she's pregnant with her second child, it's time to maybe do what we all need to do, is look at our priorities. And that's fine, except that my one challenge to her was, well, the program was about you. And remember, the program is never about you. Your program is about the listener, the viewer, the people in the audience. Do it for them. Not just for you, just a little caution in our communication. But it went fairly well. Now, the thing that really got me going, because of just some personal things that are in my family, is I just discovered that this is called Rare Disease Month. Have you ever heard of that? Well, I hadn't heard of it for some time. But I would really encourage you to take some time to check it out. You see, as devastating as such things as cancer and heart disease and all of the things that we know about. Yes, but lots of people suffer from them, and as a result, there's lots of research and money and medicine put into those diseases. However, there are a variety of diseases, and about 75% of them are genetic. And I'm dealing with one of those in my family, particularly with my young grandson. And they're not common. And some of them are extremely rare. And so what do we do if we have a rare disease? Oftentimes, doctors don't even know anything about it. And particularly if you're not near a medical center, like, I'm here in Raleigh-Durham, they've got doctors for just about everything. And then when I was in the Tucson and Phoenix area, we could usually find very, very good doctors. However, there are many, many parts of the world where, the highly trained specialists, the ones who can actually perhaps even know about and diagnose and even rarely treat some rare disease, is always a difficulty. And so I decided that I'm going to at least learn a little bit about that. And I would encourage you to do a Google on that, or a Bing, or wherever else you search. Sometimes you remember, YouTube is used as a search engine as much as Google. And the reason is you'll probably get a video on it, which is oftentimes what I want to do. So, go to, as I'm going to do, go to YouTube and put in Rare Disease Month and see if something comes up. Rare Disease Month. Well, that's where I'm going to segue. That means I'm going to change the subject and do it as nicely as possible. By the way, I talked on Monday with a special broadcast. It was not necessarily a broadcast. It was a video program, and it was about what I called the one-word prayer, how to pray with one word, which is what I do a lot. And I went through that. My wife and I decided that what we're going to do is our grandson is going through some special things for his rare disease. And all we're going to do is throughout the day, we're just going to say his name out loud. Just say his name out loud. And when we do that, we're considering that a prayer. That we're saying, we're praying for Arlo. And our hearts, minds, and spirits know what we want for him. And certainly the God that we worship and pray to knows what he needs. So that will just remind us. And our one-word prayer will be Arlo. Okay? Think about that. Well, that's going to bring me to a little bit of a thought that came from a few simple words that were said in a prayer by the pastor last Sunday. And it's significant. And it's significant for you too. And I'm going to share it with you because I think it will be helpful for you. I'm Stan Houston. The program is Interesting Ideas. We're brought to you by What It Takes Radio. Our business in life is to help you, your business, and your career reach your audience. And that you will have, great ideas, more insight, influence, impact, and true income. Because remember, income is not necessarily money. There are a lot of things that can become income if we think rightly. Hey, take a few moments while I get a cup of coffee, and we'll be right back. The church we are now attending, at least for a little while, because we're trying to figure out what we should do, we moved to the Raleigh-Durham area by accident because we wanted to be near our grandson who needs special help. And he was in New York City, and we were in Arizona, and our dear daughter just simply said, "Please, Mom and Dad, move closer, much closer, because I will need your help." And so we did just that. And so we are in the process at this age and stage of making a lot of changes in our life. We went to the church, and Pastor Steve, we have enjoyed meeting him and knowing his story. And in the prayer, he had something that just caught me. And may I share it with you? Here it was. We pray for those people who would like something to be different in their life. They want something different in their life. Their life is not working. Pray for those people whose life is not what they want it to be. Now, that's a paraphrase of the word. For those whose life right now is not what they want it to be. And we prayed for them. And I was startled and struck. Yeah, for those people. We have many, many blessings and many, many good things, and we all have many, many problems, but there are people whose life, just the totality of their life is not what they want it to be. And so we need to think about that. And then there was a part of me as an old teacher and a broadcaster to say, well, how can we do something about that? Or as a business performance coach, a little bit of a counselor from time to time, how can we help people do that? So if you're one of those persons whose life is not what you want it to be, can I just simply ask a couple questions? First of all, what's missing? Just think about that now. Is it because there's something missing in your life? I found that oftentimes when people are trying to recover from whatever they're trying to recover from, it's been very helpful for me to just simply say, what's missing? What's missing? And they have to go back and say, okay, what's missing? I would encourage you to do that. What's missing? If you can articulate it, if you can bring it up, maybe even say it, that may be one of the first things you need to know and to do. Now, the second question is one that Jesus asked all the time. Most people don't know this. His favorite question was, what do you want? What do you want? People came to him with all kinds of problems, because they wanted their life to be different. And he asked a very simple question. What can I do for you? What do you want? In my career helping financial service professionals, one of the men I met was very, 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 very successful. And he'd made a lot of money. Not great. He wasn't rich, but he was very comfortable. And I knew that he was in a very difficult part of the industry. And he said to me, Stan, I'm not that smart. I'm smart enough, but I'm not that bright. And I'm a simple man. I know that. But instead of approaching clients or customers and trying to pitch my product, I usually just, introduced myself and said, how can I help you? And I didn't mean about insurance or anything else. I just wanted to know, how can I help you? And that primarily is the secret to my success, is when they told me, I tried to help them. And of course that led to good connections and good relationships and good friendships, and good relationships and good friendships eventually leads to good clients and customers. But it was that simple. How can I help you? Well, what do you want? All right. Number 3, simply say this. I'm serious. Remember, most people aren't. I'm serious. And then try and answer this question. What is the first thing I need to do about it? What is the first thing I need to do about it? Hey, say a prayer. Of course you do that. Say a prayer. What is true of my life? What is going on in my life? It's not what I want it to be. What's missing? What do I want? And how am I going to start? If I could be helpful to you, I'd be grateful to do that. Usually I can help people somewhat, but I almost always know somebody who can if I can't. So reach out to us. Remember, What It Takes Radio is going to help you build your business by getting you in the podcast and radio business. But what we do in the coaching experience is to help you, as we say, discover the truth about your situation, discover the truth about life itself, and then to do something about it. You don't have to put your shoes on. You just simply have to do it. Just do it. Hey, I'm Stan Houston. Thank you. I would be grateful if you would recommend me to others, and I would be grateful if you would take time to share with me some of the things that you could contribute to this radio program. Raise your hand and say, Stan, I'd like to ask a question. Stan, I would like to do something interesting. Stan, hey, I'd like to be on your program. And you know what? We can probably arrange that. All the best and blessings to you. I'm Stan Houston. Thank you for your time. May it be something where you say, today, something got better. Something got better in my life today. My hope and prayer for you. Take care. Till next time, bye for now.